Welcome back. This is Fulfillment Obi, and every day I bring you one leadership truth and insight to help you lead better and build something great for founders, CEOs, and visionaries who want to do better than they are currently doing right now. So today we're talking about when your identity becomes your work and how it affects your leadership and your life personally. So with that being said, let's get into today's episode. When your identity becomes your work, it doesn't always end well, because the days that things doesn't go well, the days that business is slow, the times that things are falling apart, it doesn't just affect the business, it affects you. You tie your worth to the revenue. So if revenue is not flowing that month, it feels as if something is missing in your life. And that's a dangerous way to live, because it's going to affect your decision. How? When you tie your identity to your company or your business, it becomes difficult to make decisions because every failure feels like a personal failure. If you make a decision and it doesn't end well, you blame yourself and you hold yourself responsible, even if there are many other factors that may be responsible for it. And it's push down and hurt your self-esteem. It makes it difficult for you to make informed decisions in the future. You hold on to strategy longer than they should. For example, if something works in the first or second month and things begin to move smoothly, you find it very difficult to make the switch, to adapt or to change, because you believe that if you make that switch, you fail. It becomes difficult for you to venture into new territories because you believe that you can't afford to fail. And that's a dangerous way to move a business or a company forward. And most times, that's always the case. It can also affect your team leadership. When people begin to notice that you take failure personal, they stop telling you the truth. They stop telling you what is really going on. You only find out when things are already really bad, because they believe that once they tell you how bad things are, you take it personally. It's going to cost them something. Not because they want to lie to you, because instinctively they have learned to withhold the truth from you. They believe that withholding the truth from you will save them a face and will not make them responsible. Maybe they care about your feelings and about you as a person. They don't want your mood to shift, or they don't want to hurt you. So you begin to run a company blindly, run a business blindly, without ever truly knowing what is truly going on. It can also affect you personally. Think about your life before you build that company. If every failure is personal, every failure in the business affects you as a person, it is going to be very difficult to rebuild yourself. You can always rebuild a business, but how difficult is it going to be to rebuild yourself? Now, let me give you the diagnosis. We've been trained, or you've been trained to believe that you can't afford to fail. Every failure feels personal. You're responsible for every high and every low. You must be in the game to ensure that things are always working right. But think about your life before you start the business. Think about the future. If you cannot detach your identity from your business, it will be difficult for you in the long term, because one day it's either you're going to sell the business or things are going to go the way you didn't plan. And what are you going to do? How are you going to rebuild yourself? So ask yourself the question: do you risk losing yourself? Are you more important than the business, or the business is more important than you? The goal is to build a leadership structure that is sustainable, that will keep you going long term, not short burst. You want something that will keep you going for 10, 20, 30 years and consistently produce results. And if you make that mistake of fusing your identity and your business, you easily fall into deep depression, and that's not what we want to happen. If you feel like this is what is really going on right now in your leadership, you need to diagnose it. The good news is that I've put together what I call the Weight Audit, a framework to help you diagnose what is actually draining your energy and where your leadership is currently putting pressure on you and how to fix it. You can use this audit yourself and your team, find the pressure point, fix it quickly. To get access to the audit, please check the Execution Room on Patreon. The link will be in the description of this episode. The Execution Room also hosts monthly and weekly audits. that are valuable materials that will help you in your leadership journey. You also get access to ad-free episode, monthly deep dives, and a community space built for high achievers, visionaries, founders, and CEO. It's a place you want to be. It's a place that will help you grow and help you learn better. If this episode has really helped you or talked about something you're currently going through right now, or you know a leader or someone who is in this phase, please like, share, subscribe, and pass it to someone who will really need this message right now. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I'll catch you on the next episode tomorrow.